In fact, this person right
Oh, he's
here
not there.
is a prominent activist and said every 5 years we get elected members of parliament and senators in Kenya a car that's worth $33,000, but we don't have money to drill boreholes for our people. So that just more so seems to be chastising the government. And then here's the quote from the activist who called out Mr. Beast. But let's actually look at the quote. Overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all this attention. It's a little frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is. And then...
Wait, what? When she added, happens a white male figure, he gets all the attention. It's kind of frustrating. What's frustrating about that? Anyway, it's frustrating that white people get attention?
And she praised...
Huh?
Almost none of this happened.
Guys, I'm sorry for y'all white people in chat, okay? Currently, okay, the meta is not white, okay? We're currently a bit off meta. We're gonna have to play cool a bit, okay? We'll come back maybe down the line, maybe later. Right now, we're off meta. So
Oh no,
If we actually take a look at the Yahoo article,
he's
a
getting
lot of the
cooked
first
tomorrow.
people quoted in this are just supporting Mr. Beast.
Oh no.
In fact, this person right here, full of people, this is ridiculous. The real thing that makes these activists mad is that Mr. Beast solved...
Guys, I'm just fucking kidding. Guys, that was ironic. Why do you guys not catch sarcasm when it's like obvious in your face? Okay, I'm just saying, anytime there's something, bro, it's just been like, people put the white in front
now
of
he's
everything.
backpedaling.
Like, every word possible, every status, people say either it's white this or white that. White this or white that. Like, it has to be, oh, this is good, but it's been achieved by somebody who's white, so gotta notch it down a little bit. That's weird as fuck. I think it's odd. I think it's just why, though.
the problem for little money and little time, showing that everything's corrupt.
I just think it's weird.
Collins said,
Bates, I think.
report, very journalistically, activists are upset at YouTuber Mr. Beast for building 100 wells across Africa. And then said, with a direct quote here, they're actually mad because Mr. Beast was a white male solving the problem. Quote, I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because of fundraising, awareness, advocacy. That all takes work, says the founder of Face Africa. And then overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure, and then.
So who wrote this? Maybe because they're annoyed. Oh, okay.
The activists said, with a direct quote here, they're actually mad because Mr. Beast was a white male solving the problem. Quote, I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue.
So it's a white guy saving the black people or the Africans from the white guy building wells. So this guy's basically saying, you can't help them because you're white. Here, I'm gonna help them instead. Wait a minute, I'm white too. Fuck, what are we doing here? I mean, well, I'm just saying. It's what he says, not me.
Says the founder of Face Africa. And then overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure, and then he's quoting that person.
Is this guy white?
And then quoted the Mr. Beast candy cancel. So maybe it's true. All right, maybe it's not dog shit journals. Maybe
This
Mr.
guy's
Beast
white.
is getting canceled
This one
because
right
he's
here.
a white man who came in and solved this issue of no
not quoting
access
him.
to water for 500,000 people, which I think we could all shake firm hands about and say that's...
Why, he identifies as black? I mean, dude, bro, I'm looking at the picture. Okay, I mean, forget it, dude.
What?
Which I think we could do
Wait,
of
who?
no
Not quoting
access
him.
to water for 500,000 people, which I think we could all shake firm hands about and say that's...
Why, he identifies as black? I mean, dude, bro, I'm looking at the picture. Okay, I mean, forget it, dude. I'm done commenting on the video.
I think if he's able to use his money and his resources to help people, I don't give a shit if he is white, or if he is 6'3", or if he does occasionally show pictures of himself shirtless, looking quite ripped, but holding his balls somewhat hard. I have no problem with that, because the good he is doing is more important.
Huh?
But that's not what actually happened. Like, almost none of this happened. If we actually take a look at the Yahoo article, a lot of the first people quoted in this are just supporting Mr. Beast. In fact, this person right here is a prominent activist and said every 5 years we get elected members of parliament and senators in Kenya a car that's worth $33,000.
You like that?
But we don't have money to drill boreholes for
I know
our people.
you like that.
So that just more so seems to be chastising the government. And then here's the quote from the activist who called out Mr. Beast. But let's actually look at the quote. Overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all this attention. It's a little frustrating, but...
Something important, I think. I always talk about the exchange when you do good for people, right? You can do good even if you profit from it. I think something to remember from Mr. Beast was that the video he made, he builds 100 wells, right? And then he makes content out of like 5 of them or 4 of them, right? Most people most people these days on social media, they'll do, let's say, 1 well, and they'll make like 10 videos. I think the exchange stands in the middle somewhere where it becomes a fair exchange, and then it kind of moves up. I think Mr. Beast is on the higher echelon of that.
It's also understanding the nature of how the world is. And then she praised Mr. Beast for shining the spotlight on the need for clean water supply, but warned the issue's sustainability. Because what happens is a lot of people come along, they'll build a well, they'll make a borehole, but then it won't be functional in 3 to 5 years, and then they have to go back to unsafe creek water or river water or whatever. So yes, that's fair. That's a good concern to throw out there. And if in 5 years all 100 Mr. Beast boreholes are no longer working and all those people have to go back to creeks, we could talk about it at that point. But I wouldn't really call this a scathing activist lambasting Mr. Beast. The only thing that I think would perturb people is the white male figure part of it. Why is race being thrown into it? And that's a whole nother issue with, I think, a lot of people maybe in Kenya being proud and different things going on there. But as a whole, I don't really find to be an attempt at canceling Mr. Beast. I think it's someone who's just asked their thoughts, who is also helping tackle similar issues, right? But then, if we look at back at this quote, Colin also says, others were upset that Mr. Beast highlighted the failures of the Kenyan government that maintained the stereotype that Africa
this is
is
a
dependent
completely
on
different
handouts
guy.
and philanthropic intervention.
That's-
Others. All right, well, let's take a look at who these others are. It turns out they are one other, a Kenyan politician named Francis Gaito, who criticized Mr. Beast, saying that, like he said here, Africa is dependent on handouts and philanthropic intervention. That's one.
Picture this should have that dependent on handouts.
It's literally one person right here. This is the video he made. And let me tell you, he got clowned on. The video's got 1.1 million views, 1.1 K likes, 1,000 quote retweets. People were not happy with the video that he made here. He's also just an aspiring politician, which is just different phrasing for a dude. Aspiring politician's not a job. It's the hope for a job. I'm an aspiring YouTuber with 10 million subscribers. I'm not that. What's the point? What is the purpose of this? This all started because of the sentence activists, which isn't even accurate, by the way.
Cool.
The activists did not say that this helped perpetuate the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts. That's what the aspiring politician said. The activist, singular, said a whole different sentence. This is just a misquote. It's a malattributed quote. I don't know why the fuck Yahoo News did that.
It's like an underwater
because
ceramic
Yahoo News
technician.
did that, then Colin showed up and did the same fucking thing. Colin showed up and he started quoting activists and others. But that's not right. It was one person, one activist. It was one politician that was quoted, and then all of a sudden there's like this huge group of people who are like, Mr. Beast getting fucking canceled? This makes no damn sense. I bet it's the liberal. I bet it's the liberals unhappy that a white man's successful. It's not it. This is not what's going on, even a little bit, tiny bit at all. They're not following the SPJ Code of Ethics, by the way, if you're a journalism student.
So they're predicting the people who are going to try to cancel them, they're making like a nothing burger. Got it.
Or an aspiring journalist, this is what you should be following. The 4 pillars. I'm going to teach you it. You should remember this shit.
Moxie sending
You ever
the
see a
funniest
journalist who's
TikToks.
acting up, you tell them, hey, where are your pillars? Because they'll fucking know.
I must
That
have
Yahoo
watched that
journalist
already.
should know. Seek truth and report it. That's the fundamental. That's the basis of everything we report on. Act independently, right? You're not supposed to just retweet what other people are doing. You're trying to do your own fucking thing here. Minimize harm. Oh, that's a key one. Make sure that everyone is treated as a human deserving of respect. And then be accountable and transparent. All right, how'd you find your news? If you fuck up, Maybe own
Chad,
up
what's
that you
SPJ?
fucked up. Yahoo News.
I don't think anybody cares
You're
about
the
this one.
journalist there. I don't think you follow the 4 pillars very well. Anyway, that's it. That's the Mr. Beast drama. The only criticism I saw of Mr. Beast that had any sort of support
It's Hassan.
was this quote retweet that said, I think Mr.
It's
Beast would be an
Hassan.
incredible channel if he talked a bit more about why he has to do this while doing it. Basically saying, hey, what are the systemic fundamental problems with...
I also disagree with this guy because I think he does that on the philanthropy channel, and the main channel is more for direct content. And I'm sorry to say it,
Doing
Joe,
what?
sorry. Nobody wants to fucking listen to some guy explain the whole thing, like, for 10 additional minutes. Sorry about that. I'm sorry to say this because this will sound weird, but even though it's good in its wells, people don't give a fuck. They won't listen.
Maybe this group of people versus this group of people, and then fix the thing, and then say, hey, here's how you, as an individual, now informed with knowledge, could hopefully help this or prevent this from happening in the future. Which, you know, is a fair criticism. Maybe you can argue, hey, it's a bit annoying to sit from the high tower and be like, do this now too, after he just added 100 fucking wells. You know, I feel like that's already pretty good. But that doesn't really feel like getting canceled to me. So it's all a bunch of hubbla. He didn't get fucking canceled. Most people don't give a shit. And most people who do give a shit are just mad at people canceling him, which doesn't exist.
What's this?
It's one aspiring Kenyan politician and one activist
Wait, there was
who was misquoted.
Gonna
There
ask.
we go. There it is.
Why did I
All right, let's
react
do
to
better
this?
fucking journalism next year, baby.
I'm gonna
Thank
upload
you
it
for
though.
watching. Hopefully I'll make...
That was what